Good morning and welcome back. I'm actually really excited to tell you to to record this video for you today. This is going to be the story of how hitting rock bottom for me was the greatest thing that ever happened to me in my life. What are you talking about? You're probably saying, how could hitting rock bottom be good at all, let alone the best thing that ever happened to you in your life? Well, in 2009, I was working at a gym, actually the YMCA. I was the lead trainer there. I taught fitness classes. I was a personal trainer. I led courses on how to teach classes, on how to become a personal trainer. I also gave courses on to anyone that wanted to be certified as a trainer, as a fitness instructor in the industry for the whole province that I'm in, for two separate organizations, for the New Brunswick Fitness Council, which is part of the whole Canadian Fitness Council, and also the YMCA's certification programs. So anyone in New Brunswick that wanted to be certified as a trainer in Moncton could have came through me. And so for me, this was a big part of who I was. I had worked very hard to achieve this, and I was very proud of this fact. I was very proud of what I had accomplished and who I was and what I did, and it was a large part of my identity. I was very, very fit. My resting heart rate would be about 38 beats per minute, and to anyone that doesn't know about heart rate, at 38 beats per minute, that's about the same thing that you'd find a lot of athletes. So I had the cardiovascular, the heart of an athlete, and it was you'd have a hard time to find a person, at least around here, that could do the things that I could do. Because as a trainer, you need to be able to demonstrate any exercise that you're going to recommend, and you need to be able to do it, well, nearly flawlessly. So this was my identity. I was very proud of this. And in 2009, all of this ego structure that I had created crashed when I had a life-changing injury. My shoulder had given out. I have a problem or a condition called hypermobility, and that led to an issue where my left shoulder, even to this day, I couldn't basically do the things I loved anymore. I couldn't exercise the way I wanted to. I couldn't do anything upper body wise. So my shoulder, because of my shoulder injury, my entire identity was destroyed. I didn't know who I was anymore. I went through a massive identity crisis, and I hit the lowest low that I had ever hit in my life. Because up till that point in my life, before the injury, I can't say very happy, but I was the happiest I had been in comparison to what I was before, because I was measuring my success by, accomplishments and that sort of thing. So I went through a very, very tough depression, very, very low depression, where I didn't know what I wanted to do anymore, because what I really wanted to do, I couldn't do anymore. I didn't know who I was. And it was a very difficult time. I went through 6 years. Well, actually, it was longer than that. It lasted until 2016. And there was a few times where I don't want to say I tried to kill myself, but I had left it into the hands of, if I'm going to die right now doing this, I'm not going to stop. I'm going to just jump into it. And luckily I didn't. Nothing happened. I would lay down in bed wishing for death. And it's funny because the pain, if you've never been through depression, depression hurts. Even though you're not physically hurt anywheres, your whole body, it's hard to explain what type of hurt I mean to. And I went through this. And you're probably thinking, how could this be good? Well, when a person goes through that depth of pain in their life, you're really faced with two options. One is to kill yourself, or to do something about it. I told myself many times, there's no way I could see myself getting to 50 years old feeling like this. The thoughts of encouraging myself to kill myself were already there. And I can only laugh now. I chose the second option, obviously, but not by choice. I slowly, at the beginning, around 2011, 12, 13, started looking into meditation, and I used to follow this one guided meditation that I had found on YouTube. And in 2016, because of the depth of my pain, I experienced a spiritual awakening. And it's only after I had done a bit more research about spiritual awakenings that I found out that when a person hits their rock bottom, the lowest low that you could actually imagine in your life, that it is a very, very, very high, large potential for a spiritual awakening. Because people who have spiritual awakenings only have them because of the depth of pain that they experience. It's as though the pain triggers you to look deeper inside yourself. It forces you to look for something more stable, because I had banked all of my identity on my fitness and what I knew and what I could do, more than anything what I could do. And because I couldn't do that anymore, I needed to find something that was unmovable. I needed to find something that I could never lose. I needed to find something that no matter what happened in my life, that even if everything was taken away from me, that I still had that, if that makes any sense. So I was, in 2016, when I had my spiritual awakening, it was the most incredible experience I could ever imagine, because before that moment, I was in the depths of despair. And I had already started to try to pull myself out. I had a little bit of, I've wanted to get out of depression, but going from wanting to die and kill yourself and feeling the depths of depression to all of a sudden having a spiritual awakening, it's literally like going from, how can I say this? It's like the coldest temperature to the hottest temperature in a flash, right? It's such a difference. You can't imagine how good you would feel, I couldn't even have imagined how possible, or I can't even speak right now. I couldn't even have imagined how good it was possible to feel as a human being on this planet before I had my spiritual awakening. And especially since I had gone from a very bad depression, it felt even more intense because the contrast was so great between the two extremes. So how can hitting my rock bottom be the greatest thing that happened to me? Well, I wouldn't have experienced that spiritual awakening. I would have never learned how to completely get rid of depression. I would have never learned how to completely get rid of anxiety, because before my spiritual awakening, even when I had all that fitness level and knowledge, I still felt a lot of anxiety. It was full in my life. I would have never learned the art of alchemy. I would have never explored real magic. I would have never had the experiences that I had. I would have never had my Kundalini rise, which was one of the most incredible experiences I've ever had in my life. I would have never really connected to that aspect of me that others, that people call the universe, the oneness, the whole. So this might sound kind of weird, but I'm very grateful to my depression. I'm very grateful that I went through that experience. Because what I've learned, and I talk about this often, is that pain is the real transformer in your life. It's the pain that you feel that will motivate you to move. It's only when you feel enough pain in your life, discomfort in your life, that you're going to find the will and the desire to do something about it, to change what you need to. Physical pain is extremely valuable in your life, because if you never felt physical pain, a lot of us would be walking around with missing body parts. Some of us would have probably died at a much earlier age. And emotional pain is very important because it motivates us to get over, or to grow. It motivates us to evolve and learn how to transcend emotional pain. It brings us past a certain mentality that you grow, that you develop as a young child, and an immaturity, and it forces you to mature. Even now, when I have a negative emotion arise within me, I can laugh. I enjoy it. I don't enjoy the instant of it. No one enjoys feeling miserable. But I don't feel miserable anymore, because the moment I recognize the negativity, I transmute it. And that's what I mean by I enjoy it, that I use it. And it's the same thing. Oh, there's a little mosquito there. It's just, you can really think of it as exercise. So a friend of mine had used this example, and it really struck home to me. So when you're in the gym, for example, if you're doing a workout, let's say you're running even, your muscles hurt, it burns, and there's physical exhaustion, you feel tired while you're training. And in the same way, emotionally, spiritually, when you're going through these negative experiences, you could really look at this very much like a repetition while you're doing some weights, for example. And we all know that while you're in the gym, they say what? No pain, no gain, right? And the same thing is true for you emotionally. No pain, no gain. So each time you experience a negative emotion within you, if you can look at it in the same way that you look at doing exercise, it's extremely exciting because you know that you're getting something very valuable from the experience of negativity within you. Thank you, Ryan Atkinson at Garden of Origins, for making that link for me between exercise and spiritual growth. That helped me at a time where I needed it. And I've carried that with me ever since. And I'm sharing it with you now. So I can truly say, I'm happier now than I've ever been in my entire life. I've never felt such joy. I've never been so motivated. I've never had the energy I have now, emotional energy, to take on new challenges, to better myself, to just be. So this might sound weird, but I wish for you pain. Not pleasure, not happiness, because those things are not going to transform you and help you find who you are. So I wish for you the entire experience of what it is to be a human being, so that you can learn to be complete and whole, accept your darkness and your light and merge them together so that you can become whole. Wherever you are around the world, whatever time it is that you're watching this, thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you. Peace.